Today's a little bit of a different project. I saw this on Marketplace. The guy wanted $100 for it, for parts only. And I offered him $50 and he accepted. So I went and got it yesterday. It was completely torn apart. The handle here was torn apart. This whole top section was completely ripped apart. And everything was taken off except for this. Typically on these, you pull this one cover off and one of these wires is broken from folding the handle back and forth, but that was not the case. First thing I did last night was I put it all back together. And I got to fix something here because there's something not right there. I think the spring that's in there is not in there correctly. And then this is the drive. That's fine, but it works, but this isn't right. So that has to be fixed. I went through everything on this. First, I put it together so I could properly troubleshoot it. There's a switch here that when the handle's in the working position, it allows the motor to run. When it's folded forward, it will not. There's a switch in here that won't let the motor run unless the handle's extended. That has been bypassed already, which is fine. That's not a safety problem. So I'm going to leave it as is. But I went through all this. There is a circuit board here, which I believe is maybe an inverter. But what I found, there's a fuse right here. I pulled this cover off that covers the motor section here. And there's a fuse here. And when I wiggled this wire, the thing would actually start and stop depending on how I moved this wire. Well, I thought it was a loose connection here in the fuse, so I resoldered that. That was not it. I ended up pulling this entire motor housing off of there, which means you have to unhook these wires, which is no big deal. This red wire here, you have to cut it. I don't know what kind of connectors they put on here, but you can't pull those off. So you cut the wire and you end up re-soldering it and splicing it. Anyway, I pulled this all off. The biggest issue was putting this thing back in here. That was a trick. But it turned out the wire underneath where it goes to the brushes, well, this main wire was broken. So when I moved it, it would actually connect and it would work. But there was two other wires that were also broken. So I soldered those and got them all cleaned up real good. There's a wire here, but I believe that's maybe a temperature sensor or something. Not too sure what that is, but that just hangs there. So anyway, after doing all that work, just stick a battery in here. And it works. And I believe the lights work. Yep. In case you want to mow in the dark. And then the wheels turn. And it does have a speed control here. I've got one exactly like this. So that's why I knew it was a good gamble. So anyway, everything's fixed on it. It needs to be cleaned. I'm going to sharpen the blade. And I'm probably going to sell this with a charger and a couple of batteries. I've got some batteries that aren't the best. But I'm going to go ahead and donate those to the cause. Somebody will get a lawnmower that at least will function. But I'm going to fix that handle up there, put the rest of it back together, and we're rocking. So I've got about 4 hours in this thing. Not too bad. Pretty easy to fix. I've fixed the Ego snow blowers and stuff already, so I'm kind of familiar with the way they think and how they design things. This one was a little more elaborate than most. I say 90% of the failures are one of these wires here just gets bent out of shape and broken. This was a little bit more of a head scratcher, but we got her done. So that's today's magnificent project. So I'm going to move on to other nonsense after this.